Alright, last video, because I'm just not going to be able to get to the book review thing, so that's like next. I might do that in September to kind of wrap up book club. I've been reading though. I was actually reading a book. It's, let me get it. It's this book I'm reading. So Learn to Sleep Well by Chris Idzikowski. I have been actually reading it. I actually need to take notes so I can be a little bit more thorough. So that's the book that we're working on for book club. So pay attention to that. I'm going to try and do an August wrap up, early September, the first week in September, and then book club as well. Timing hasn't really been so great. I've updated. I put one new blog post on the red, so check the about page or whatever, and then click on the link to that. It's the little globe that'll send you to the website. It's theredweebly.com. And then I put some resources in there, so some books. So if you're interested in womb space, like women, femininity, like divine feminine kind of shit. I mean, it doesn't matter. You know, some people get weird about that kind of stuff, especially if you're a guy. But you know, you can learn and do exploration of your feminine side regardless of what kind of body you have. Anyway, so just check all that stuff out. I'll link it below as well and blah. Alright, so this is a deck, not really review, but this is a deck purchase. I'll put deck review in the thing. But I bought this deck recently and just going to show you what it looks like and things like that. It's called The Fountain of Trabazon. It's an oracle deck by Julie Pepper. It's described as 56 luminous, fully illustrated oracle cards for wisdom and gratitude. This is the second edition of it. So this is the description. Every card carries a unique meaning about the compass we bear inside. By reading these cards with the included divinatory guide, we can develop a sensitivity to the directions we face and see what life is teaching us about our ability to respond. This deck contains 56 luminous, fully illustrated oracle cards along with a divinatory guide explaining the title and interpretation of each character's theme, meaning, and the situation they teach about. The characters in this deck are divine, powerful, and thoughtful, always contemplative, always free. So it also gives you some like ways to like use it and stuff like that, which I haven't done. But this is what the box looks like. You know, descriptions. I guess this is what they call a talk box. I don't know. Child, I don't know the lingo. Anyway, you can go to Trabazon.com for it. Let's see. Fountain of Alright, I'm just going to go to the website while we're doing that. So anyway, this is what the deck looks like. This is the back. They are slightly larger than the average like tarot deck, so they are kind of keeping in line with like more oracles. I find oracles tend to be a little bit bigger, unless they're like, you know, specialty, I guess, like tarot cards, but they're larger than the average tarot card. They're much larger than the average playing card. It's about 2 playing cards like length. About the same width, I guess, of it. But this is what the back looks like. This is the stack. It's kind of like a laminated kind of card or whatever, so it's not like paper or anything like that. There's a number in the corner, stuff like that. That's not really distracting. Depending on the picture, it's black or white, right? Black or white. And so each picture was just of like a being. They're not really related to like Wicca or anything like that. It's just kind of like illustrative beings. There's no like, oh, Hecate, Isis, Sekhmet. You know, like you know when they do cards like this, it's like themed and they're, you know, it's this goddess from this tribe and this place in the world. That's not really how this is. It's more like intuitive drawings for each one. Now, I like that you get as many cards as you do that are illustrated. I really enjoy the differences. I kind of don't want them though to be, what is it? It's like, I like cards like this where the image kind of takes up the page. It's like when I get cards like that are very, like I like this, right? But then you have like cards, you have cards that are like this, where the image is taking up the page in full, and then like this, where it's like quite a bit of white space. And so I'm kind of like very confused as a person, because I'm just like, I kind of want them to always be all colored in for some reason. And maybe it was very intentional to have the white space, but I'm like, damn it, I kind of want, yeah, I like it when it's fully colored. I don't know. And also, when you look at some of these pictures, they're kind of pixelated. So if you're not someone who can like deal with that, like I understand, because some of them, the image quality I don't think is the best. Like this one is definitely not the best, but because it's like a painting or whatever, like it doesn't need to be as crisp on the card. And because the art style itself isn't necessarily so clear, it's not like it's open into interpretation what it is, because it definitely, like, you know, like say this is definitely like a person, and stuff like that, but it's not as like crisp or defined. Like it's not illustration, it's not like a clear crisp illustration. It's more like smudged, maybe watercolored, gouache, like ink kind of thing. So you know it bleeds a little bit. It may be images may be outlined, but for the most part the colors kind of do their thing. Like I said, you can clearly see what it is. Like it's not like it's something you can't see. See, like cards like this, I'm like, why is this in here? Like that. You got cards like this, because it feels like kind of sometimes like the art style is like very different. It's like I forget what deck I said this was for too. There was another deck that I said that too. I don't know what it is, but yeah. I'm kind of happy I got it though, because I like using my decks by planet, but I do feel like as I get deeper into stuff, not that I'll abandon tarot and astrology altogether, but that I'm interested in just exploring intuition and linking other things to my practice. And so I need cards that step outside of those systems as well, because there's going to be things that I do that may not go in those systems of astrology and tarot. So this would be great for you if you want to just pull a card and study it. I think you can study it as an art thing. Ooh, that would be so great. You know what? That's an idea. This is going to be like an art study, intuitive, geometric figures, divine cosmic light is coming through sort of deck. And we're going to figure out how to use it. So I'm going to look at the decks and look at the colors and draw some things. And yeah. This is like the title card or the box image, and then the image on the back. But yeah, those are all the cards. And then this is the book. If you were expecting something really, really in-depth, I am so sorry. This is not in-depth at all. It basically asks you a question, and you have to kind of contemplate that. So, let's pull the last card. The last card here is number 50. Oh, okay, so they do, I stand corrected. They do mention a few, like, people or characters, but it's not necessarily, yeah, it's not all like that. Like, they have Marion Child, they have Buffalo Weemoon, um, Green Tara is in here, but then they have things like Yoga, First Nun, Balance, Crown, Full Moon Maiden, Hark, Herald, Choice, South Africa is a choice, a thing in here. Joy's Mermaid. Like, it's not so fixed on, like I said, goddesses. It seems like it's more like the embodiment of an energy or space and time or something like that. Because, like, service is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? But, like, number 50 is Shiva's Maiden. And then you get, like, a bolded word, and then you get a question. So the bolded word is revel, not rebel, revel, revel, and then the, like, quote or whatever you need to focus on is love the youthful side of yourself. Can you dance with innocent abandon? You know what this deck is kind of like? When you really gotta sit and you gotta be alone, and you really don't want to sit and be alone, you gotta really contemplate some shit. Like, this is that kind of deck. It's gentle enough to hold space, but it seems like it's very sharpshooter, like, to the point, like asking a question. It's like that one question you get asked and then you just break down crying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I've gotten a few questions and I've like, like, I thought about it. It makes you pause. It makes you think about your life and all of that stuff. And so I think this deck is good for if you're ready to confront things, if you're ready to ask yourself harder questions, if you're ready to say you have an answer or even that you don't have an answer, you don't know. Questions being asked that you've been too afraid to ask, or you didn't even know to ask, you didn't even know you had permission to ask. I think this deck is something that opens it up. You might want to use it with a deck like the Mother piece, although I kind of feel like they may be competing. And you really can't do more than one of each. I don't think it would do well with like 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, pick a card, meditate on it, even if it's just for the day. It seems like it's questions that keep you up at night and linger for longer. So just make sure that you have the time to, even if it's just mull over it throughout the day, make sure you kind of give it that space to ruminate, because I kind of feel like you may not arrive anywhere with it. The moment you ask yourself that question and you read the question, it may happen like 2-3 weeks from whenever you do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really excited about using this. It's on eBay. That's where I got it. There's a whole website, fountainoftrabazon.com, still selling the cards. You can buy now from the website. I think it may take you to another, a third party or something like that. But yeah, they're pretty straightforward. And you can click on the cards on the website. It'll zoom in and it'll give you the same, the same thing that's in the book. So you'll zoom in and you can see the words and the questions and stuff like that. And then there's just a little bit about the creation and stuff like that, or the person. But it's a pretty straightforward. It's not too many words. I think that's kind of the point. And so, yeah, these are paintings. And I'll just read from the website. It all started when Julie Pepper was inspired by the ancestors and the ones to come. Fountain of Trabazon is an oracle deck comprised of 56 images. Julie compiled over 20 years of painting. The cards were, and that's why I get the different styles, because I'm like, The cards were aligned with positive affirmations from Julie's studies in herbalism and Raha, I think it's Raja, Hatha yoga therapies. The deck's characters have elaborate pattern garb, divine and powerful, thoughtful, always contemplative, always free. Most have a white background, the only content being the space and energy created inside of them. Each card's positive affirmation is available in a booklet that comes with the deck. So that's all I have for you guys. Alright. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. I will see you guys next week with more content, and take care. Bye.